the Penmar Theatre. Over here we have Eric Spare. He's a Penticton resident of 21 years. He's married to Karen and raised 4 kids here. For the past 20 years, Eric has been a national sales executive for the Melaleuca Corporation, an international e-commerce wellness business. He loves Penticton and all it offers in many aspects. Now that his kids are grown up and he has more free time, he's excited to participate in the Penmar Community Arts Society. Next to Eric there is Carrie Milton. Carrie has worked downtown Penticton for over a decade, including in the Penmar building. She's currently the executive director of the Downtown Penticton Association, as well as the president of the Penmar Community Arts Society. She's very passionate about the old building, as we're sure to see, and she's excited to see it revitalized and used in a new and unique way. And at the back there with the camera is Adam Micklett. Adam has spent his whole life in Penticton and is the operations manager at the Penmar Theatre. Adam spent 5 years at the old Penmar Theatre and jumped at the chance to be part of its resurrection. He enjoys watching and making movies of his own and is excited to help bring this new theatre and to the wonderful residents of Penticton. And Adam will actually be making a movie today of the presentation, so you'll all be famous. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Carrie. She's going to be our first speaker, and then I believe Eric will talk after.
Thank you guys for coming. So I wanted to show you guys, well, a lot of you might be very familiar with the old building and what it looks like, and it looks even worse now, believe it or not. We've been taking it apart. That's the vision that we're looking, and that's where we're going with this. So you guys can share this with us. So we just want to give you a little bit of history and the future of the Penmar Theatre. Some people might know more and can jump in. So who are we? Who is the Penmar Community Arts Society? We are a not-for-profit society led by a strong and experienced active business-minded board of directors that has been created to resurrect the old Penmar. It's a gathering place to showcase our very diversified and artistic community, and as you guys are aware, we have a very large artistic community here. We're showcasing a much more diverse selection of films, from foreign films to documentaries, than what is being currently shown here in Penticton. So generating an ongoing source of funding for regional artists and artistic groups is a big piece of this as well. So we did some digging, and what you're going to see on the right-hand side is the first ever ad for the original Penmar Theatre. How exciting is that? That's what she really looked like back then. This is 1956, and it advertised the new films that were coming, and very excited, everything new in Technicolor. That was the original picture, the one in the middle there, which is absolutely beautiful, the gold signage and stuff as well. So the grand opening was December 21st, 1956. It started with one giant large auditorium, which is what we're actually reverting back to. Currently, it's 2 theaters right now, and we're taking the wall down the middle to put it back to what it originally was. The auditorium was split in half in 1976, and it was known as actually the blue one or the red one, because the chairs came from an old airport, and so Theater 1 was all red, and Theater 2 was all blue. So when you went in, you asked for the red theater or the blue theater. And then in 1984, the new addition was added, which is the Theaters 3 and 4, which are on the left side, if you see the middle picture there, which is what's there now today.
Question, Carrie?
Yeah.
Where does the name Penmar come from?
Penticton on Martin. Okay. Originally, I think it was actually called the Town Cinema, a town with an E, and then they later changed to Penmar, which that's what Penmar stands for. So, in approximately 2002, I was there and began searching for a new site to build what is currently now the Landmark 7, which everybody has seen. It lasted for 10 years to find the right property, the right place that we could develop, and it was successfully opened in October of 2012. So while that was going on and the search was going for the new theatre, the Penmar continued to operate. A lot of people ask you, that's what the projection room looks like, just in case anyone's wondering what that picture is. So in 2012, the site was found, which is the old Liquidation World site, which you guys all know. The new theatre was built, and the final film showed in the old Penmar on October the 5th of 2012. The future of the Penmar. So we did a lot of work to see what could we do with this building. There was talk of turning it into a furniture store. There was talk of tearing it down. There's all kinds of things. So what we decided is that this is an old, historic, beautiful building, and we need to really revitalize it and bring it back to where it used to be.
We wanted to create some more employment downtown, to create an affordable venue so you can watch a wide variety of films and theater and different multicultural events, which is really important. Our business plan indicates that this will be a profitable operation with multiple and different revenue streams. These are just a bit of the statistics and the breakdown on our business plan as to, this is what is based on what the old Penmar did, with some slight verifications for the live music, the live dance, the live performance theater. So as you can see, there's a definite demand. That's how many people came through the Penmar, just so you guys know, on an annual basis, and people don't realize just how many people came to that old building. And there's the new one. That's what we're building. So a little bit different than what's there right now. It is indeed the old building, but just with a bit of a facelift. So this is the floor plan for what we're terming as phase one. So we're going to do this in multiple phases. It's a huge project to take on. So with 3 multi-purpose auditoriums seating 100, 200, and of course, as you can see, the big auditorium there is the one where there's currently a wall separating it into 2. A green room, so what you see the orange top right of the plan, that's a whole new build on, that's in the current parking lot. And that would be the green room for all the new live stuff that's coming, including a loading dock for all of their supplies. The front facade, which you can see, and it's fully accessible, which I think is very important. This would be phase 2. So you see the first phase built on, we're adding back. For anybody who knows the old Penmar, there was a balcony originally. So we want to bring the mezzanine and the balcony back. And then add it onto the rest in the parking lot. We have Peach City Radio coming in, so we want to build a slightly bigger facility for them, more storage space, more office space, bigger washrooms, an expanded lobby, all kinds of things. So that'll increase our capacity up to about 450 people. Second floor, so as you can see the second floor, there's your mezzanine and the extra seats up there, and then upstairs as well, there'll be another wine bar so you can have service, VIP kind of service, there'll be washrooms, there'll be a boardroom, and of course we'll always be up to date with your equipment because that's a huge expense. So this is fun. For those of you who have been in the old Penmar multiple times, remember what the old concession looked like. Not quite like this. This is a design by Grant Dennis. He is an award-winning local kitchen designer. He's on 100 block of me. He's in his new kitchen. So you'll notice it's all state-of-the-art equipment. We'll have the wine coolers, self-ventilating coffee machines to make it eco-friendly, the licensed lobby, coffee, tea, a few other food arrangements that weren't there, reasonable prices, and that will be what the layout is going to look like to start with.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I'll go park.
Yeah,
For all these 400 and some people.
No, that's a really good question. So we did a whole count of parking that around, and as you go Green Gables, there's a full parking lot there. Where the old Super Valley was, is a community parking lot as well there. Behind Victory Church, there's a whole parkade there that they've given us access to, which we can use, which is just across the back alley as well. And then of course there's all the on-street parking too. So part of the future of the Penmar, which is our big piece too, is how to give back to the community. So we have referral income opportunities for any not-for-profit organizations that they can earn commissions if they do sales. So if there's a new theater group that's coming in that's doing a performance, if your not-for-profit sells the tickets, you get a percentage back to your not-for-profit for the work that you've done. We've set up an annual granting program for all local regional artists and art organizations. And there's also free venue rental opportunities for community groups once a month. So you just put your name in if there's something that your community group wants to see. For example, the snowboard shop was asking about doing a documentary on snowboarding, stuff like that, and you have that opportunity. So here's just a few examples of what we're looking at programming. And I mean, if you guys have input, this is fantastic. So we have second run movies, classics, foreign, independent documentaries. We want to bring, of course, the opera, the dance, lectures, music, theater, and comedy. So there's all kinds of things that we can do, and we're open to whatever ideas everybody has as well. You can become a member of the Penmar Community Arts Society by purchasing an annual membership fee, which gives you all kinds of different benefits, and I think Eric's going to talk a little bit more about that. There's different levels of membership for different needs. It starts at $50. There's discounts for seniors, students, for out-of-town people, for all kinds of different things. We currently have a dedicated seat program. So for $100, you can put your name or the name of a loved one or your business or something on your seat, and it will stay on a plaque in there forever. And everything, of course, because we are a charity, we receive a charitable tax donation every Eric is going to talk about the Penmar Community Arts Co-op by purchasing investment shares and what that means and how you can be a part of this whole thing.
We really appreciate you all coming out tonight or today. We're excited about this theater project, and I hope you are getting excited too. We're very, very fortunate to have Carrie leading the pack here. She's been doing a tremendous job. She's got a lot of experience, and it's really been helpful to be able to work with her. So Carrie and I are here representing our board of directors. We got an outstanding board, I think, that really covers a large dimension of business and community. I was trying to add up the years between us, and definitely we have well over 100 years of community and business experience, so hopefully we can be helpful. How can you help? You know, you look at this picture, I think you would agree that from where we are right now, anybody walked by the old theater lately? So we got a bit of work to do, right? And yet when you look at this picture, can you just imagine having this downtown Penticton, be able to walk by there and be proud of it? We want this to be a community project. We want this to be a community-owned project. We believe it will be a profitable project. So don't get confused. The Penmar Art Society is a non-for-profit, which Carrie's our president. This cooperative theater project that we're building, we believe will be a very successful, profitable venture that individuals will be able to participate in as an investment. Are any of you members of a co-op now? Maybe Valley First? Yeah, so Valley First is a type of co-op. In fact, you know that 1/3 of all people in British Columbia are part of some type of a co-op. A lot of people over the last several months have been wondering what's been going on at Penmar. You walk by there and it doesn't look like there's a lot being done. The truth is there really has been a lot done. In fact, the interior of the theaters has been painted, and we have chairs, we have a lot of things in that portion, and we really only need a few $100,000 to open the doors. But in order for us to accomplish this, this is going to cost well over $2 million, which we believe is very attainable in a cooperative model. So what we've done, first of all, we felt it was important. How many of you like to be debt-free? I like being debt-free. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to buy the property. So the present owners of the property have been very generous so far. They've been very, very supportive. And they have given us an option to purchase the land and building at a very reasonable price, which I can't disclose quite yet, but it's very generous and a huge help to what we want to accomplish. So that's our first step in order to get to our phase 1 of our project. Just recently, the board of directors adopted the plan to join the BC Cooperative Association. Now this is a government-funded program that is again a non-for-profit, but they provide the framework. So I think we all agree too, it's really important that we have a proper foundation. So as I said, over the last several months, you may think not a lot has been done, but in order to accomplish this, we have to lay a proper foundation. And that foundation requires a lot of planning, a lot of investigation. We've had to look at a lot of different types of models and decide how we could possibly put this together so it really will be successful. So these people have really been wonderful. They've already given us the framework. They provided us with a very powerful, proven business model that will help us to raise the capital necessary. And what they call it, there's a fancy name for raising money, it's called community asset mobilization. Pretty fancy, right? But really what it does is it helps us mobilize assets within our community, just small amounts of money that can assist us to get to our goal, to build a successful, financially viable theater that's going to be vibrant and exciting and, again, profitable. So, if you make an investment in this as a co-op member, we want to see you benefit financially as well. And we feel that we'll be able to target a very realistic expectation in this model. So when you think about this investment, a lot of times we all have a bit of investment, and of course that's a financial investment, but what we really want to talk about, even more than the financial investment, is we're making an investment in our community. So we feel that with community support, which we already, by the way, have received phenomenal community support, several $100,000 have been donated to this project, just since we mentioned this process to some of our community leaders and individuals. Again, six-figure amounts have been forwarded with good intent. So we really feel excited about this investment opportunity. But this is what it's really all about here, the future of Penticton. So to have that vibrant theater right downtown where we can all enjoy, I like going to the Bad Tattoo and the you go there Friday nights, but this will be my new venue of choice. And we'll be able to sit out there in the patio and go to different types of shows. All the people that come visit here will be able to have a real vibrant theater project to be able to get involved in. I was in Calgary on the weekend, promoting Penticton, promoting real estate, just talking to those Calgarians, come on over to Penticton. We want you over here. And one of the things that I did was I put up a picture like this in our display to show the kind of community that we have. And people were so impressed. In fact, I had people from Calgary that expressed interest in wanting to invest in our community theater because, like many people, they come here year after year after year, and they want to support our community as well. So that was very encouraging. So I'm going to have one example. So the way, we want this again, this is what it's all about. We want this to be your community theater. So everybody that's a co-op member is really going to feel a piece of this, and you will literally own a piece of this theater as a member and as an investment partner. So it's an exciting way to actually see something that your money is actually doing in the community, and we're very confident of its success. Now this is an example. We look very carefully at this particular model. So this is a little town called Wolfville, Nova Scotia. That's where they have the Acadia universities there. This little theater was very interesting to me and to our board because this town is about 1/10 of the size of Penticton. Okay, they had an old theater, I think it was even a little older than ours, and their community came together and they had to raise a formidable amount of money for a fairly small town. In fact, the amount of money per capita that we will raise compared to what they raise is just a little over half. So we're thinking if they can do it in Nova Scotia so successfully, we certainly can do it here at Penticton. It really has helped to restore and revitalize that facility. But it's also really revitalized the kind of the core of that town as well. Instead of just having a big little theater like we have, they've really turned it into a positive experience. And the people there in Wolfville, they own a piece of that theater, and they benefit financially because of that. Basically, the purpose of us coming here today, and we're kind of excited, you really are the first ones that we have publicly told, I think, in person at least, that we intend to move forward with this cooperative, and we need your help. We need your help to tell your friends. We need your help to think of ideas that will enhance this project, and of course, we're going to need help financially in order to make this a success. So as you see, any way that if you can volunteer or anything you can do is going to be appreciated by the society and by your community. If you want more information about how you could participate in the cooperative model, feel free to come and talk to us afterwards. You have the penmar.ca website. We're available for members of the community, and we'll be happy to give us our phone numbers as well. So this is really your community theater. If there was a theme to this meeting, that's what it's about. We want to make this the center of our community. We want to be supportive. This is not anything about competitive with anybody. We want to be supportive of the other community events as well, and the other theaters, and try to work together so that we can bring more exciting venues to our city. One thing I forgot to mention, one of the things that really got me excited about this, I don't know, when you went through, when Carrie showed you the different supporters of the theater, there was one there that said Invictus. Does anybody know who Invictus is? Okay, Invictus is owned by Jim Cressman. He is one of the best event planners in all of Canada. In fact, many of the events that are at our big SOE, what is it? Our big SOEC theater, 5,000 people, he's the one that books the events. So to have his support as well, and Carrie's support, and people like this that can really help us build this venue, we really are going to make it into a successful community theater that you can be part of. So the Penmar Art Society asks if there's any questions. Any questions that I can help with, or Terry can help with? Yes, sir?
I have questions for both you and Terry. You said phase one is a $2 million phase,
Yes.
which is a fairly conservative figure, I think.
Yes.
What is your hopeful timeline for the completion of the second phase, and what is that dependent on?
The completion of the second phase is how much funds we can have. The truth is, if we were to able to sell enough shares that we were to get to the whole thing right off the hop, so $4.5 million to do the whole thing, which would be phase two, then we would do that right away. We want to really see the doors open, so that's why the phased approach. So if we get the $2.1 million to open up phase one, we would open the doors, have everything going, and as the funds came in, we would complete phase two.
Okay. And phase two, if I read your diagram correctly, that includes your boardroom.
Yes.
Is that boardroom going to be presentation equipped?
Yes.
And what is its capacity?
Right now we have, I think it's a table that seats about 20 to 24, like around a big round table, boardroom style. The other part too is in our auditorium number 4 right now. It has its seating capacities for 100. We have a removable stage going in as well, so that for smaller like lectures and stuff, but a little bit bigger than boardroom size, that you have that capacity to use that theater as well.
Okay, so between the boardroom and the area you're talking about, there will be an area that's possible for workshops, actors' workshops, that sort of.
Yes, absolutely. And the other part of the actors' workshop is the Black Box Theater, which will be part of phase 2 as well. It's just a big open room that we can bring in chairs, have dinner theater, make it usable for however you want to use it. Absolutely.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Any other questions? So do you like the picture? Let's make it a reality. That's what we're here for. So thank you very much for coming. And I'm sorry, you have a question?
Carrie mentioned, and we are indebted to her for getting the opera to come to Penmar. But she mentioned that this theater would take on the opera. And I'm just sort of curious how that would all work.
Well, we may not get the Metropolitan Opera because that one is actually, because we brought, as you know, I brought it in for Landmark. So it is contractually going to Landmark, but there are other opera, like the Royal Opera Theatre of London and those kinds of things. And if we go with them, they also have theatre and music as part of their repertoire as well. So we're not limited to just opera. They also do the ballet, Royal Ballet as well through them.
They've been doing that at Landmark.
They are contracted though with the Met. So they bring in things in through the Met. They're not contracted to the Royal Theatre.
Any more questions for the Penmar?
That wraps it up then. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye for now.